Hi guys, this is Sandra of the Alexandrite system. Hello everyone, this is Ellin of the Alexandrite system. So today I'm here to talk about my relationship with Ellin and romantic interrelationships in general. I'm here today to talk about my relationship with Sandra, because I think that live systems talk about their alters and relationships with each other, but they don't really have their alters talk about like the details of what goes into that, especially when one of them like fronts pretty regularly. So for those not in the know, Ellin and I are together. We're not quite married and we're not really dating, but we're committed and in a romantic relationship. So Ellin and I got together pretty much as soon as we found each other, though in my eyes it was sort of a long time coming. When we were young, she used to draw little pictures of me in her sketchbooks, and I suspect she had a somewhat of a minor crush on me, even though she didn't realize that I was a real person. The whole system that we knew of at the time was celebrating a big personal accomplishment, and she just got kind of swept up in it and kissed me. And I don't know, we just kind of went from there. It was one of those relationships where you just sort of start spending a lot of time together, and then next thing you know, you're dating and you can't really pinpoint when that happened. Don't know how to explain what it feels like to be kissed by somebody inside your own head. I guess the best way I can explain it is that it feels like a very vivid memory of being kissed. Any sort of physical interaction, headspace, it's like you can feel it, but you can't feel it. I suppose one thing that one wouldn't expect from a relationship inside of a system is the ability to touch and be touched. I'm a very physical person. I really enjoy hugs and hand holding and that sort of thing. And it's a big part of how I show my support for Sandra and the rest of the system. Sometimes when Sandra doesn't expect it, I'll come up from behind her inside and I'll give her a big hug around the shoulders or a kiss on the cheek. Just a small thing to show I'm there and I love her. So when talking about system stuff, I think that my relationship with Ellin is sort of an understandable sticking point for some people. I think especially because I'm host and because I'm the one that people most view as like the real one. It was like whenever I would tell anyone this in the first few months of knowing about this, it was like a switch flipped and it went from, okay, I can deal with this is something I'll have to get used to, but I kind of get it, to, oh, you're actually crazy. And that sucks because while my relationship with Ellin isn't a typical relationship, it's still a very meaningful one and a very rewarding one. I think having a relationship with someone inside your own head is something that comes with a lot of intricacies. For example, there aren't a lot of communication issues between us. Because we exist in the same system and because our dissociation barriers are pretty low, Ellen and I can basically read each other's thoughts. And that's not to say we don't have disagreements or anything, it's just that when you can read somebody else's thoughts, you kind of get where they're coming from more. The other thing is sort of straddling this line between having them with you all the time and not having them with you all the time. One would think that you would always be with your partner, but the reality is that while you both live inside of the same brain, one doesn't always get a choice in being together. While she's always there in the system, Ellen has periods of dormancy. Sometimes she'll be away for days or sometimes weeks at a time and I just won't hear from her. She just won't be anywhere. And it's hard not to miss her. With a normal relationship, long distance or not, you at least have the option to communicate with that person usually. But when Ellen's in one of her dormancy periods, it's like she's asleep and I can't wake her up. And that gets lonely, but it's something that we work through, because I know that she doesn't want it either. As a caregiver in our system, it can sometimes be somewhat of an instinct to give and give and give in a relationship and not ask for anything back. But Sandra always gives back. And I know that's somewhat of an expectation in a relationship, but it means a lot to me because of that role. Having someone in your head who knows exactly how you feel and who can just be supportive of you when you need it most, it's something that's kind of unparalleled. And because it's a question I know that people are thinking, yes, you can have sex with people in your own head. We'll probably do a separate video on this thing sometime. That's something we would have to script out pretty delicately. So, I don't know. I just love her and I wanted to talk about that. I love you all. I love you, darling. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I will see you next time. Bye. Bye.